The Danger Zone. Avoid being a Victorian servant. Written by Fiona Macdonald, illustrated by David Antram. The Danger Zone. Avoid being a Victorian servant. Top tips from experts. Don't ever be seen meeting a follower, or you'll be dismissed. Find a cushion to kneel on, otherwise you'll get housemaid's knee. Breakages or damages in the house will be taken from your wages. Never offer your opinion to your employer. Your daily duties. You will get up at 5:30 a.m. and clean the kitchen floor. At 6 o'clock, heat water for the washing. Wake the senior servants at 6:30 and get the fires lit. Lay servants' breakfast and deliver breakfast to the nursery. At 7:30, prepare hot water and tea trays for the family and empty the chamber pots. At 7:45, you have your own breakfast. Say your prayers at 8:30. Remember to pray for your employer's health and prosperity. At 9 o'clock, serve the family breakfast and clear the table at 9:30. At midday, have your lunch. Help with the servants' lunch and serve the nursery meal on a tray. At 1 o'clock, serve the family lunch and clear the lunch table at 2:30 p.m. Then you can have a rest and do some mending. The family will take afternoon tea at 4:30, so prepare the tea trays. Servants' tea is at 5:30, but you will also have to serve the nursery tea at 6 o'clock. Serve the nursery tea. At 6 o'clock, lay the table for the family dinner and help prepare food in the kitchen. Dinner is served at 7 o'clock sharp. Serve dinner and clear up before having your own supper at 9 o'clock. You can then go to bed at 11 o'clock. Your pay will be £20 a year, board included. Our housemaids are always called Mary. You will answer to this name when called. A few rules. When you're spoken to, keep your hands still and always look at the person addressing you. 2. Never let your voice be heard by the ladies and gentlemen of the household unless they have asked you a question. Even then, always speak as little as possible. 3. In the presence of your mistress, never speak to another servant or to a child unless absolutely necessary. 4. Never talk to a lady or gentleman unless to deliver a message or to ask a necessary question. 5. Items that have been dropped, such as spectacles or handkerchiefs, should be returned to their owners on a tray. 6. Always respond to an order or reprove, and always use the proper address, Sir, Ma'am, Miss or Mrs., as the case may be. 7. Never offer your opinion to your employer. 8. If you meet one of your betters in the house or on the stairs, you are to make yourself as invisible as possible. Turn yourself towards the wall and look away. 9. Never say good morning or good night to your employer except in reply to a greeting. 10. If you are required to walk with a lady or gentleman, always keep a few paces behind. 11. You are expected to be on time for meals. 12. You can have no visitor into the house or the servants' hall without the consent of the butler or housekeeper. 13. Followers are strictly forbidden. If you are found meeting with followers, you will be immediately dismissed. 14. Breakages or damages in the house will be taken from your wages. 15. You can go to church on a Sunday, but only if your chores are done, and no dallying on the way back. And don't forget, if the bell rings once, you are wanted. The mistress does not like to see servants. Starch your underskirt so it rustles when you're coming and the mistress can look away. You must not go into the family areas of the house without permission, inside or outside, except on business. If you are seen by a member of the family, you will stand still and look at the floor or turn to the wall. Oh yes, and stay away from the windows. You are not seen. Avoid being a Victorian servant. The Danger Zone, written by Fiona Macdonald, illustrated by David Antram, created and designed by David Salaria. I am the housekeeper. I am always right. Contents. Introduction. From country to city. You are clean, neat and obedient, all the way down to glossary and index. Introduction. You're a bright young girl aged 12 years old. You live in Britain around 1885. For the past 120 years, new industries have transformed the nation. Now it is busy and confident, with shops, factories and big cities. Railways and steamships link British ports with a vast empire overseas. Queen Victoria, one of Britain's greatest rulers, is on the throne. Britain is very rich, but this wealth is not shared by all. The people at the top, mostly businessmen and old noble families, are very rich indeed. They have incomes of about £30,000 a year. Middle-class people, such as doctors, lawyers, politicians, live very comfortably. They earn between £300 and £800 a year. But, like most ordinary working people, your family is poor. Your father is a labourer with no special skills. He works hard but can only earn about £25 a year. Your mother cooks, washes, cleans, sews, mends, looks after your brothers and sisters and cares for your elderly grandmother. But because she does this for her family, she earns nothing at all. Life could be worse. You have a small cramped home, plain simple food to eat, and old patched clothes to wear. Money is always scarce, and there is none saved for emergencies. You're growing up fast and want to help. It's time you got a job. From country to city. Alternative careers. Before deciding to be a servant, consider other careers. Shop work is exhausting, all day on your feet. Farm work is dirty. Factory work is dangerous. Shop assistant, farm hand, factory worker. You're bright, keen and lively, but you haven't had much education. Your parents could not afford to send you to school, but you've learned to read and write at classes run by a charity. You know how to care for children, you can count and you can sew. So what kind of job might you do? Sadly, for most young girls there is not much choice. Your family wants you to be a servant. 13% of the female population in Britain are in domestic service. Without servants, rich people could not lead such comfortable lives. But the pay is bad, the hours are long, and there is not much personal freedom. Is it really the right job for you? Handy hint. Go to Sunday school. It will teach you how to read and write, as well as learning about religion. Are you clean, neat and obedient? Employers set very high standards when selecting servants, so don't be surprised if they inspect you closely and ask lots of questions. They'll want you to be neat and pretty, to look pleasant around their home. They'll expect you to be strong, with the stamina to survive. They'll check that you're clean and healthy. They don't want you spreading disease. And they'll insist you're obedient and show the right attitude. No one wants a servant who is cheeky or rude. Remember, always call them sir or madam, and never speak until you're spoken to. Tweenies. You may not be a maid straight away. You might have to work as a tweenie for a while. A tweenie is a kind of servant's servant who helps behind the scenes. You can expect to earn only £4 to £8 a year. Let's see your teeth, little one. Dressed for the job. Lace-trimmed cap, the sign that you are a servant. Long hair tied neatly back, no fringe, or you'll be sacked. Stiff, starched collar. Close-fitting buttoned bodice. Tight waist, achieved by wearing a whalebone corset, most uncomfortable. Apron, protects your clothes. Long skirt, heavy and bulky, it gets in the way when you work. Black woolen stockings, they itch and often need mending. Boots, heavy, well-polished and hard-wearing. Fashionable footwear is not allowed. Handy hint. Don't be surprised if your employer calls you by a new name. They may not like the one your parents gave you. From top to toe. Some employers supply uniform, but others expect you to provide your own suitable clothes. It could take 2 years of hard saving to be able to afford these clothes. Either way, you'll have to make and mend your own underwear, chemise, that's vest, drawers, long knickers, and layers of petticoats. But remember, jewellery and makeup are strictly forbidden. Be obedient. If not, you'll be punished. You might not get any food or pay, or you might lose your job, and if you break anything, it will be deducted from your wages. You can get up early and stay up late. Are you familiar with lamps and fires? Are you squeamish about slops? Are you strong enough to sweep and clean? Do you know how to cook? Waiting on hand and foot? Are you handy with a needle? Prospects for promotion? Or get married to escape? Glossary. From black lead, bodice, chamber pot, chemise, cinders, down to tweeny, wicks and workhouse. And index. B. Begging, page 28. Bells, page 23. Boyfriends, pages 28 and 30. Down to W. Washing, pages 12, 13, 20 and 31. Workhouse, pages 29 to 31.